I'm more of the like ins and outs of how the movie was made kind of guy, and then AJ is more of like obviously he does his reviews, like what people thought about it at the time. Sure. And then Mike will do a complete outline of like all of the scenes, and we will all do our individual research. Okay. I am more of the technical side kind of person. Sure. But you know, everyone will come with something, but we don't share each other's notes. We come in completely blind as to what anybody's either of us is gonna say when we do an episode. So I thrive on that. And in the beginning of the show, Mike was like, we need to kind of do a script on this, right? I'm like, I don't think so. Like, let's get an outline of what we want to do and like go through the movie and talk about it. But I want to be completely off the cuff when it comes to, you know, if there's any comedic value or bits that come out of it.
No, I agree. I feel like an essential part of your podcast is like noticing like the reactions. You know, like towards the end, like if somebody gives like a surprisingly low or surprisingly high rating, like I hear from you or Mike or whoever, like they're like, wow, you know, like you really gave it, like that matters versus or not that matters, but it does matter. But in my opinion, like that is more of a, you know, piece that I can appreciate versus like when you just, it's robotic, right? It might as well be like a Watch Mojo video, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's just something that I appreciate about the level of authenticity in your podcast.
I appreciate really cool. that. That is, yeah. I mean, it was like number one thing that I wanted is I'm a huge fan of improv. I took one improv class, so I'm pretty much an expert. Like, but like, I mean, AJ is probably the funniest one on the show, and he will, whatever he says will just bring me down a different road, or vice versa, or with Mike or whatever, and we'll just go with it. And I love like doing bits like, you know, yes-anding each other pretty much is just like my favorite fucking thing. Like when we can get it rolling, it's my favorite thing to do in the world.
Well, and you know, I think this is also the key part of your podcast is you all have different personality types and you all have different energies that you bring to the show. Like you're the very like you and I are very similar in a way when it comes to film. Like we're both very analytical and like we, you know, really have there's a certain appreciation of film that we have, a certain you know, Molly's grimacing in the background as I say this, but a certain like class of film that you regard as being quote unquote great or whatever. Like you really bring that energy versus where I feel like, not in a bad way, but like AJ and Mike, you know, have their own blends of like kind of more like the casual viewer, right? Sure. And I think like it's great. Like I think the blend that you guys have, it kind of adds to that like the authenticity of it. The fact that you guys are able to riff and kind of be like, you know, like you have, you know, there are movies where I've seen like you really, really get into it. And the other two are kind of like, all right, like, you know, doing the guts and core with Molly. There are times where I watch you podcast and I'm like, I can totally relate because when Molly and I do our podcast, it's like that same dynamic where I just have like a page. We have our last clip. We had like a page and a half of notes and Molly's like, Jesus Christ, like, who cares? Move on. Like, can we move on to the scoring?
Like, no, this is fucking important, okay? The reason this camera is behind his shoulder is very, very indicative of his character.
This was 35 millimeter, okay?
They don't matter anymore. Which is what we're filming this on right now.
That would be the real move, right? Be like, hey, I'm going to spend $500 a podcast.
What's different about your podcast? Well, we shoot on film. The overhead is crazy, but let me tell you, it looks fantastic.
Can you imagine? You're like, hey, what are clips coming out? You're like, hey, I'm waiting on the film to process. It's going to be a few weeks.
Yeah, no shit.
It's actually going to be 6 months before this podcast comes out.
It's a production. I've got 9 interns working their ass off.
That's the thing that's great about this podcast. We don't even need interns. We just have, you know, volunteers and slave labor. That's
it. I've seen the dogs running around. Damn.
We have treadmills. That's actually how they power that's actually power the house.